Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everybody. Thanks a lot for joining us. We are here, we are live, we are probably loud. It is a Thursday night. We're going all the way back through time, and it's a live stream here at my place, Quinny 3001. We're live and we're loud, and we're going to be getting stuck into a lot of different bits and bobs today, guys. I'm really throwing the floor open to all of you guys. I'm up for some AMA action. I'm up for a bit of everything and anything tonight. As I said in the post, I put a wee post out here, there, and everywhere. Thanks to everyone. Fist bump that's joining us after we've been live. Of course, we'll get the fist bumps to the live chat shortly in due course. But thank you if you've watched this after we've been on. Please do get involved in the conversation. Drop a comment, like, subscribe, and share, and retweet, and all that good stuff, guys. We are pushing like mad to get to 10,000 subscribers before the new European season, guys. And it is snowballing over here, and we're having a great time. So I've got Thursday night. We used to do Thursdays all the time, and why was that? Oh yeah, because the deadline used to be Friday morning, and what we used to do on a Thursday night is we used to do a wee bit of lineup building. Now, I'll be doing that as the stream goes through tonight as well, just in case the questions or whatever from the live chat is different or whatever, I don't know. That's what I'll be running through tonight as well. But if you are joining us live, fist bump to you. I'll be getting into the live chat for any fist bumps. I see them all coming into the chat. Welcome to you all. But if you're joining us live, this is AMA time. Fire the questions in, fire the requests into the live chat, and we'll do our best to get stuck into it. I was mildly tempted to just do a stream with a topic or whatever, but I just thought, you know, I get so many great questions. Like, I've got a video coming out in the next couple of days, and it's just about XP, and it's because somebody messaged me saying, you don't have a video all about XP. And I was like, do you know what? You're right. I don't. So I made it. I forget who you are to give you the credit on camera now. So thank you. You do know who you are. Fist bump to you. You're a legend. But that video will be coming out. So again, equally, like, I get amazing questions, and I get some amazing conversations with people that, you know, do reach out to me, that I do get to, you know, have a chat with and help and whatever. But some of them is great content as well, and I think, wow, this would be a great topic for a video, like the XP one or whatever. So if there's any good stuff in the chat, I'm sure it'll be good stuff for all you guys watching. And one of the great things about Sorare content, like, I watch Sorare content like all of you guys do, if not more so perhaps. And I never go into content really expecting anything, in the sense of, like, I'm not like, oh, I can't wait to watch this episode to make sure that I keep up to scratch with the latest strategy trends or, you know, whatever it might be. But every time I listen to a Sorare scouter manager from anywhere around the world, I think, oh, that's a little bit of... I always pick up something. Oh, we all do. And that's a big part of the reason that I like listening to content. So even if you're not involved in any of the chats after we've been live, I'm sure lots of the stuff we'll be getting stuck into will give you plenty of food for thought, no matter where you are in your Sorare journey. Brand new beginner or a veteran, someone who's experienced and got themselves ranked up. But like I mentioned a few times, we've got a lot of heroes and legends, a lot of Sorare scouts and managers from all over the world joining us live and loud at the moment. Fist bump to you all. I see Mikey Basson, Ashley Bowers, Charlie Dunbar, David Richards, Scott Marshall, and Weasel Mount all dropping in a cascade of fist bumps there. But also Mickey Flynn is in the house and commenting. I think, Mick, and I've seen you comment twice actually, so maybe you've just got some sort of issue with commenting on the member streams even though you're a member. That is very peculiar. Sean Connolly, first fist bump of the night, good to see you. And Jerm is maybe starting us off with a belter. He's telling us he's done a massive trade with Pavel, so we'll maybe go have a wee peek and see what he's been up to. 5k getting swished around there between the parties. Mickey Flint has started to build with the suggestions from the member stream, which is lovely. Now, guys, it is a minefield out there at the moment. The Saudi Arabian transfers are raining in. Milinkovic-Savic has just went, and everyone is talking about Jordan Henderson at the moment. And I was getting DMs with some heroes and legends from the Sorare community talking about the fact that Ciro Immobile would be on the verge of heading out that way. Now, there has been some Qatari... I think maybe one UAE club has picked up a notable European name in this window. But there's one or two Qatari clubs, but it is obviously mainly Saudi. And it has been quite drama-ridden, guys, as well, hasn't it? You know, because around the Jordan Henderson stuff, also today breaking out as FIFA and Saudi Arabia, as FIFA are sanctioning a transfer ban upon them until they pay the money that they owe, which, you know, fair play, trying to be flybuggers, not paying money due elsewhere and all the rest of it, and they're going and spending all this money. I don't blame them. You know, I think that's bang on, you know, like, yeah, you can't say, oh, we're no paying next for skint, and then all of a sudden go and sign Benzema, you know, everything else has been up to Ronaldo and whatever else. So it's been messy, but guys, at the moment, it is like no one's safe, man. No one is safe at the moment. If the likes of Ciro Immobile and Ruben Neves and Jota from Celtic, alongside the gracefully aging European greats of Benzema, Ronaldo, Kante, and whoever else will go out there, they are buying a full division. I think we can just now say that out loud and just embrace it. They are going to buy a full division of players over the next, I'm going to say 4 transfer windows, between when different contracts are due for expiry and when players will be open to negotiation, etc., etc., as well as emerging talent. I'm sure they'll identify and be able to bring in down to agent links. And like we've seen, I think with Jota was a big one where the money was a big part of it, but if Ronaldo and Benzema weren't in the league, or if Benzema wasn't going to be in his team, I think that does help ever so slightly, you know, the agents and the buying club close them, if you get me, if they've got like, oh, you'll be playing with Benzema or Ronaldo or something incredible like that. So yeah, great to see some of these are in the market. I'm in the market myself at the moment, but man, the Saudi danger is real. The Blue X, because on Sorare, if you are new around here, I'll give you a bit of context, but on Sorare, the Saudi Arabian Pro League or Premier Division or whatever it's called isn't a fully licensed league. Now, it is covered by Opta, so we do have the potential to get the statistics at some point, but I've got 1 player in the Saudi league. I'm sure he's in the Saudi league anyway. Yeah, I do. Oh, I've got 2 players in the Saudi league. Interesting. Oh, Jota, of course. I actually remembered I had Pity Martinez. I forgot Jota is now classified as this. But as you can see, they've got this little blue X, okay? So I'll highlight this one so you can see it on screen. But it's partial eligibility. The only competition that the club that they play for enters, that Sorare covers, is the Asian Champions League, which is a group stage and a series of knockouts, very similar to Europe. And there's a couple, you know, you're talking about in a great situation, like 10 games over the season or something. Minimum like 6 or something, maybe with rotation 4 or 5. But so there's a little bits of there, but the full league isn't actually covered. Sorare generally, as it's growing, only adds on Opta coverage for SO5 for the fantasy football tournaments when they have a license in that territory, i.e. they sign a club to sell the cards for, or a league, the whole league in some instances as well. So I can see it happening, guys. It's one of these things that's a bit of a hot topic at the moment, but I don't think it will happen anytime soon. But it is not, and I would say the earliest would be the winter before anyone asks me, but it's been busy bees in that sense. So it's building for Europe, you've got to do that with tread with caution on that one for sure. Who was that? That was Mick, of course, wasn't it? Risu, good to see you. Fist bump Haggis Light. MU Clips, good to see you. Sorare Wakey Academy. Kieran Jones, Fake Doodle Man. Asgerlujo. Fist bump, good to see you, mate. Ashley Bowers, with the new wallet coming, do you reckon limited prices go through the roof? Now, go through the roof is a term I feel uncomfortable with around limiteds because, and I said this recently somewhere and I got a bit of heat for it. I think it was a video or a podcast or something. Or maybe it was a beginner video. I forget. But limiteds, like, have always been to bring down the barrier to entry. Now, so imagine them skyrocketing. Now, the way that prices have moved up in the past on Sorare is when, where's the graphs page? I've not actually looked at this in a while, but it should be good for, yeah. So this chart here shows you how many people play the game, as it were, right? So when prices rise for good cards, i.e. good football players that are worth having for fantasy tournaments, when demand exceeds supply. Now, we've seen over, and you can take any time period here, even in the slow periods, so rare, and even there was a little retraction period there, I suppose, back in the winter. It looks like a wee bit of a backward movement for the first time ever. And I mean genuinely for the first time ever. So the growth has always been moderately exponential, give or take, even in the slower times. It's just when it goes hyperbolic is when prices skyrocket, because there's it's a mental surge of demand coming to the game. And this is probably a nice way of seeing it as well, the amount of lineups going out, because you can see here around, so where would this be? Does this tell us a month? It's only got game weeks down here. So I'm guessing these probably line up in terms of months and that. No, they don't really, do they? So July, October, yeah, they kind of line up ish, but not perfectly. So that's a poor assumption for me to be making. But these spikes here, maybe they're in autumn, maybe they're in summer. But I would suspect they're more closer to the beginning of a European season, and yeah. So I think that's the main thing. It's not so much. I think what you're saying, of course, is does the wallet increase onboarding so much that Sorare does get mass adoption and becomes like a household name with like 1 million players and that kind of stuff? That becomes all the more likely and all the rest of it. But like the only cards I would be moderately safe in projecting if I was you or any Sorare player out there going parabolic again, going what was the word you used? Through the roof, is actually good football players. Guys that are in like Segunda division in League 2, unless they're like wonder kids, it's probably not going to be those guys. But the talisman of the platform, you know, your guys like Mbappe, Messi, Ronaldo, depending on if that league gets covered again and some other bits and pieces. It's those flag bearer type cards are more the ones that if you want to think about something going through the roof, these are the metric a lot of people use, and it's probably for good reason. And I think, and for experienced Sorare players, you understand the way the game works. You'll understand what. So if like imagine how many people are on the platform at the moment. So it's 12th of July. So yesterday, I like 10 cards or more, right? So let's say 90,000, 130,000. 100, they're actually quite significant numbers down at 2 cards and 5 cards. 1 card I always try and ignore, to be honest with you, because we used to just get botted a wee bit with some of that stuff with refer a friend hacks and stuff like that. So yeah, if we say conservatively, there's, let's say 120,000 active managers, probably guys that are paying attention, actively in the market, looking to hustle and bustle and whatever. So if 250,000 new users, so that would be the platform growing by 3x, and you know, you would then be making the original user base a third of the platform. I think if that kind of thing happened, then you could expect a lot of generic prices to probably do really well in a short space of time, because everyone does this with anything new. You kind of wrap it open. I've told the story before. A very good friend of mine started playing Sorare just at the back end of the season there, and told him, keep your money and we'll build it together and I'll walk you through it. And I didn't see him for 2 days, and he came back and he'd spent all his money and bought a gallery and done his thing. That's just what people do, you know. So everyone, out of that, you know, that imaginary number I just made up there, say 250,000, out of that, probably like 80% of them go through that traditional you know, onboarding phase of cutting your teeth, beginner mistakes, and all that kind of stuff. And yeah, that's probably enough volume to then maybe then do that. So I think it's hard to say it would be as a so to really circle back and answer the question, the fiat wallet coming on, of course, as we know, makes the whole game much more easier to touch and to grab and to get a hold of and to play with. So it's really then just, we then get the proof of the pudding. How good is the game, really? You know, because like when I'm talking about it all the time, or when I'm thinking about it, I just think so much about how, like, if I did I did a lot of stuff with football in my pastimes, you know, or in my spare time. And I think if anyone did one of these things, they'll get this game. They'll love this game. And so often people do. But it's one of those ones that you don't know until everyone has a shot at it, or gets a look at it. It's only your own opinion at the end of the day. And I'm talking about myself when I say that. If I play O'Reilly in the 22-23 team, do I get collection of 3% just for him, or do I need another player from the Celtic 22-23 season? Johnny TH, I don't really understand your question, but I'll explain the collection thing with my Celtic. So in this season here, I've got 4% coming. Right? I'm just like a few 90-day points away from ticking in. Matt O'Reilly isn't in this season, so he doesn't get this 4%. Matt O'Reilly gets whatever bonus is in this season's Celtic collection for me, which is at the moment 2%. So one version of every card. So if I went and bought 4 rare Greg Taylors, only one of them, whichever one appears in this album, and you'll know that because it'll show you the serial number for whatever one is selected, that's the only card that gets the bonus. So if you've got an O'Reilly, it's going to be a 22-23 season. And any other, and whatever's on this chart, any other 22, 23 Celtic card gets that bonus as well. They all get it every game week. It's not exclusive, limited to one card in that respect. The collection bonus applies to the entire collection. Every card highlighted gets the bonus. I hope that answers your question. James, easy now. Love it. Connor Aspel, it's Hershey, fist bump. MU Player Clips has joined the FC Barcelona Foundation. That's the member section. There's a link in the description of the video. If you see the title, there's a couple of words next to it. It says show more. Hit that. And in there, you can join the member section. It's £2 a month. We do a member stream every week where we do this kind of thing in much more depth, as well as some other bits and pieces. We've got a Telegram group as well. Look forward to seeing you in there, buddy, as well. And there's just a season ticket, which is £1 a month, 25p a week, which is just the stream access, really. All the details are in the description. My lineups have become a headache this week with Seattle and Galaxy questions. USMNT losing. And, oh, brilliant. America are out. So Sean Johnson, that's kind of part of the thing I was thinking, oh, this will be useful for me tonight because I've got no idea what to do with Sean John. Is he back? I've really been missing him. Is Sean John back in town? Now, honestly, I have bemoaned Play Sharper so much. Sean John's at 70%. I'm taking that as 100 because Sean John always returns from international duty in my experience. So I'm quite buzzing about that. What's up, Ugo? Long time no see, my man. And Lovett's got a red card as well. Joe Ducey, that is headache time for you. Haggis Light, Musa Dembele, the latest name to be linked. And that's the whole reason I've stayed away from Musa Dembele because he loves those dollar bills. So if he got a mega money deal just like Jota, he's not saying no to that. I can tell you that for free. Saudi have to be stopped. Well, mate, it's one of those ones. I'm not into real world politics and stuff like that. I just don't get anywhere near it. And that aside, like, I couldn't care less if they're spending money, honestly. Like, I just think take it off them. See if people really don't want them. Take all their money off them, and then what have they got left? If that's all their power is their money, then take it all. You know what I mean? Let's all go work for them, take all their money, and then they'll get, you know, if that's the way you feel about it, that would be that's a having your cake and eating it situation, which is what I'm all about, you know. They are fully sending. I ordered a Jota jersey. Oh, I think I'm catching up with some of the Saudi chat from the beginning. Quinny, looking to spread into super rares. What you think my price limit should be? Or should I just wait until the Saudi... I'll definitely wait until the Saudi transfer stuff is done for any super rare that has any sort of profile that would be of risk. Some don't, right? You know, like, especially Gator Guy mentioned this, but I've been, you know, quite happy with some of those kind of businesses. Some of those bits of business I've done myself, but like Finn Damon, but guys that have already transferred are beautiful. You know, if you know that they've just moved, you know, the probabilities of them moving, by the way, I wouldn't completely rule it out, but it must be only like a 1% chance, you know. So guys that have just moved, I think are quite solid. In terms of budget, mate, listed price on super rares is not the price that you'll pay. You can definitely haggle, DM, direct offer, spread your offers between different people and get much lower than what is listed, wait for auctions, etc. as well. You will need to pay a fair price for a good player, but in terms of budget, mate, really, it's kind of like with super rares, the situation is more is what is your budget, and then I can tell you how far you'll get with it. That's kind of more probably a better way of thinking about it from me to help you as best as possible. But yeah, like Arda Güler just transferred to Real Madrid. He's only going to go out on loan if he doesn't stay at Madrid. I'm not worried about him. Even Usyk is getting some links, but again, a guy like him might just get like offered 80 grand a week to go to Saudi, and he might just go, aye, no bother. Xavi Simons, I wouldn't completely, with Jota just moving, I wouldn't completely rule him out either, I guess, since Qatar own him, technically, or, you know, PSG did. So yeah, that's the way I kind of feel about that kind of side of the market, I guess. I ordered a Jota jersey. When it arrived 2 days later, to get confirmed to Saudi. It's Hershey. That is brutal, mate. Was that a new season top as well? That's a killer. You'd hope Celtic would maybe do refunds or swaps on that stuff, eh? Maybe send them an email. I wouldn't rule it out. The club are quite good for stuff like that. What do you think Sorare will go to Saudi? I think Sorare will probably sign the Saudi League next summer. And if I was to guess, I think we'll get Opta coverage in like January or something. That's my projection, my bet, my forecast. Yes, Quinny, my man. Simo, good to see you, my hero. They were through the roof last year, but so was everything. Yeah, and again, it's a demand. I think we're talking about the limited thing from earlier, but it's a demand exceeding supply situation more than anything. Dazza is in. Dazza on the alt account. Love it. I love your streaming room a lot. Thanks very much. And the intro music. Thanks very much. Risu, fist bump. Do you also use the room when privately spending time on Sorare or only for streaming? Yeah, if I'm like, so I'm in here like, well, I'm maybe in here up to 7 days a week, minimum probably 5 days. And for mostly like working hours. And if I'm in here like kind of business hours, and if I'm in past that kind of time, I'm probably on with you guys doing something or recording something. I am with somebody in a different time zone. So yeah, I'm in here like whenever I'm doing anything. I don't do much on my phone unless I'm just like pinging offers to things that I've identified. So yeah, I do basically everything in here. In the member section, I've got whiteboards over there, and I kind of lay out my teams and my depth and keep a note of guys when they got injured and when they're due to return. Remind myself of my targets and, you know, transfer targets, objectives in the game. So I do everything. I've got a couple of screens. I've got all those tellies. So when the season's actually on as well, like what we normally do on the channel quite a lot is I normally like watch along quite a lot. So I'm still toying with the perfect setup in terms of good experience for all of us. You know, I get to be able to have all 3 screens on, watch a bunch of football, and have a nice screen and have like Sorare data scores on. And we did a few nice ones. Sorare data, I've got fantastic in-game facilities on web app, and like you can. So I was able to build the screen in such a way where whatever game we were watching, we could see AA live coming in and a wee ticker, which was quality. So yeah, I basically do everything Sorare based in here, except for on my phone, maybe ping some offers. And when we're in season, I don't mind a bit of lineup builder on the Sorare data app because it's just too easy and too good to not do. That takes me thinking about lineup builder and Sean Johnson's and whatever. I can build some teams, guys. Now let's see, did I build some teams already? I've got my academy teams rinsed in, I think. So now Lino, I might take out of academy for this week in case I do, because Lino, as you guys maybe know, yeah, I'm quite happy with the rest of this. I might swap Lino out with training this week. There we go. Sorry. So Lino for striker. Right, let's get a different striker in for training. I don't think we want any of these guys. No game. Do we want maybe a super rare? Nah. We've got Edward in, so we don't need to worry about unique. So what rares do we have? Maybe not that many, actually. Abada and Depay. I think Abada is probably worth a spot in training because Abada could be on for a great year. Yeah, let's get Abada into training. Nice. Okay, cool. Now, I managed to pick a cap 240 team. I think I put Sean John in here before I had any inkling on him going to play. Now, that looks like a really... Why did I pick this? This is a really strong cap team. So this is going to bang the 50 quid. Oh, by the way, guys, this week I did actually win Freshie for the first time in forever with a 4-man team. Isaka got 43 points. His AAs finally came in. But Gold and Russell, by the way... Scottish heroes all the way. Basically 2-manned it, which was quality. So we're getting a wee bit of ETH in, which is nice. Did I manage to scoop a card? No, 18 points off a card. That's incredible. Sviatchenko with a good score as well. So that's nice. So I don't know if that's... But again, this is a really strong team, isn't it? Like in the cap. I'm missing out on a lot of XP. If I do fancy that this week. Card prizes are okay. 292 points or 292 spots. Away to Philly isn't that attractive, and NYC's form is definitely a reason to pause for the cause. And then this is a stud all-star team, isn't it? So I'm not really worried about XP. I'm expecting Ladero at home, Gold at home, Russell to continue, and then, yeah, Big Shino and Barraza. Yeah, I think I'm kind of happy with both of them teams, actually. They were just like initial drafts, just kind of clicking and seeing, oh, who could play, and need to double-check this later on and whatever. Let's see this NYC team. So they expect Magno, Santi, Gabby, finally, is a front 3. Yeah, that's good. Alfie in Parks, Hack. Yeah, this is kind of became a bit of a solid back 5. Morales for Sands. If Sands back in the house, I can see Sands coming into centre back or something, by the way. Sands might wreck a wee bit of midfield here. So I think Parks is pretty nailed. Same with Santi and Magno. Yeah, I think that is quite a nailed team, actually. I quite like both of them. I don't know if I maybe might want to rejig them around a bit, but I'm quite impressed that this team does fit into cap because of how bad Magno and some of these other guys have been, really, I guess. And then for 220, I've managed to get a bit of a team out as well from the looks of it. With limited Barraza, Hacken, O'Toole, and Ledesma. I could play somebody else over Ledesma. I could play... no, I don't think I could, actually. Could play... I've already played Maraz. I've not got Sands. I'm not getting these other guys. I think that's pretty much as good as it gets. And that's the other academy team. So maybe I'll delete these things and rebuild them, because I've just kind of knocked them together, and I might try and optimize it ever so slightly, because they are just kind of like a stack that I've kind of thrown together. I've also got amateur Big Berkey. Is he maybe out or something? Did I see somebody saying that? I dropped 8 points for once. Maybe that's what it was. Is Rui Diaz on to play? Rui Diaz. Rui Diaz. You want to play, son? Yes, you are. That's fine by me. Lucho at home to Nashville. At home to Orlando. Probably take it home to Orlando. Sound. So yeah, guys, let me catch up with the chat. See what you guys are saying. See what we're asking. See what we're giving it. Where are we? AMA, guys. AMA. Let's catch up. Well, there's been tons of chat, guys. Tons of chat. Let me catch up. Entering on our lineup. Johnny TH, loving it. What's the lowdown on Alistair Johnson's injury? So he had surgery post Canada national team duty, which was like 3 or 4 weeks ago. He is still expected to, I think it's like a 3-month thing, and he's maybe done a month of it already, is what is off the top of my head from what I caught earlier today. That's the lowdown, give or take. JDoc85, fist bump, good to see you. Do you think we'll ever be able to sell cards in a bundle? For instance, I'm trying to sell the keeper, and I have his backup as well. I'd like to sell both of them. Yeah. Ian, I think we're going to get that quite soon. And see, before, who was that I was saying this to? I think it may have been Laird or something. But before we got the collection bonus, I was saying to somebody, and before we had collections even displayed like this, I was saying, as soon as we can sell for bundles, I'm going to list this up for 12 ETH. As a joke, after I got the maxi cards especially. And anyway, so I think, yes, selling in bundles will come, should come, will be great when it does come. And I don't know if now that the collection bonus is in, I would actually sell this actual collection, because I love being 5% kicker on some really good players, man. Like Tati, and some of these guys are kind of rubbish now, like Andrade and Acevedo's coming good. I really like this whole squad, and I like being more powerful with them, and I like the fact that they're MLS Cup champions for the first time in the club's history. But I do love the fact of, like, I was thinking about buying a backup keeper and the same kind of thing, and I was also thinking about, like, with my Trubin, for example, imagine I did sell Trubin one day. Because of the pieces I've bought, I'm still due to get a Solomon as well, as you know. But with Antonio and with this Konya Planka, who has got a jersey number on him, if I was to ever sell Trubin, I would offer to sell the batch with him to give the next person the 2% or as much as the 2% as they could get. And I think I've got that situation actually perfectly with my Tanny. Yeah, I do. I've got one guy with him. So I've got a one-off Tanny, which is great. And then I've got a one-off this guy, which is a nobody. So again, same thing. So yeah, I think it will come. I think it should come. And I think it will be great when it does come. So yeah, that's a great question. How come I don't have amateur lineup to enter, Quinny? Maybe you've not registered yet, so play upcoming, and then maybe you need to check like your filters on the game week here, and do you have this ticked? You know, there's a few different, so you maybe just need to see like show all, go to the common thing like this perhaps, and filter. So I know people have their preferences set differently for the play page. So that's the only thing I can say, mate, if you can't see it. Sorry, I've got 2 different chat boxes, and I'm losing track of where I'm at and who I've spoke to. Very welcome, overdue, to be honest. Looking forward to checking out the member section. Thanks very much, guys. Honestly, I cannot do what we do here on the channel without your support. Thankfully, as you've seen at the bottom there, we've got QuinnBet on as a sponsor. Sorare sponsor the channel as well, of course, through the affiliate program, and support us endlessly, just with being absolute fucking godsends from the football gods that they are, every one of them. Dan, Nico, Brian, Tay, Gian, everyone I speak to. Heroes, walking, living legends, every one of them. So without them, QuinBet, and you guys cannot do any of this stuff. And you guys have been here the longest, So fist bump to you, MU Clips. Thanks for joining the memberships, and thanks for supporting the channel, mate. Charlie Dunbar, I know Sinclair was back from Canada and in training within 48 hours. So Sean John should be good. Yeah, I think so, man. I say for the amount of times I've seen Sean John go to USMNT, US Men's National Team duty, to sit on the bench and then come back for New York duty, he always comes back pronto. He always killed the Barraza utility, So I'm got full confidence that that's the case. It is great to hear, Charlie, that Sinclair has done just that for Minnesota. Can never take all of their money unless oil literally dries up. But oil isn't and I know these oil wells and reserves are obviously like gallons and stuff like that, right? But they are not bottomless. There is a bottom to them. And then the alternative is just, like some people try and do, I guess, is just move the economy away from fossil fuels as well. So maybe there's a two-prong approach to it, perhaps, Mikey. Maybe that's what you're revealing to me. Well, at least Saudi should pay the fans when they rob a football player from your team. Well, I think they're paying the clubs pretty well, so. And again, if they pay the clubs huge transfer fees, but then leave the clubs no one to buy, they have to invest that in their youth development, don't they? So maybe the Saudis have got a 4D chess approach to this as well. They're trying to help us from our, trying to save us from ourselves, perhaps. Saudi window, like a lot of Europe, doesn't close until September. Jesus. So still to go. I think this FIFA transfer embargo is a bit of a godsend at the moment as well. But you're going to get news tomorrow that they've paid their bills. So it's not like they're skint. Thankfully, they can only take so many players, 8 per team, I believe. Oh, interesting. Yeah, because they do want to nurture their own crop of players in Saudi Arabia. So, yeah, they do have some sort of limitation there. Here, my list of questionable keepers and fill-ins: Fry or Cleveland, fair. Sean John, Blake, Bond, or Klinsmann. I have to use Yedlin to cover Lowitz. Yeah, I think Yedlin's going to be okay as well, mate. I think when it is as far as North America goes, domestic traveling that they're doing, I don't see any reason why they're not backing straight at it. It's not any different to going away for any of the clubs that they play for, really. Yeah, it was an away Celtic jersey. It's Hershey. That's sore, man. Really pleased. I would suggest emailing the club or tagging them on Twitter. Get a bit of a thing going, because there won't be that many people that have done what you've done, and it's probably a really easy gesture, particularly if you do it in public, for the club to maybe. I'll give it a retweet and stuff, by the way. Maybe do it for you. So I would go for it, mate. Great. I will start to buy €200 players in the Saudi market when it finishes. I said this to someone. I'm not buying into Saudi, but I held Pity Martinez this whole time. I didn't hold Denier. I didn't hold Lung. I didn't hold Kim, but I'm going to hold Jota. And I didn't hold somebody else. I lost somebody else over the years to there. One more player. I forget who it is. But yeah, I'm not going to buy into it. I maybe would buy a goalkeeper at a push. When scouting SR super rares on a budget, it's better to plan long term. Yeah, definitely. You definitely want guys that could be the guy, will be the guy, because the price difference is mega, You want unwanted rewards, really, if you're going to be top shrewd on it. Sorare Viking. I have 1 ETH to buy a super rare goalkeeper. You've got a great budget for my 240 team, but I'm anxious, because I can't miss. I was just there, mate, myself. I've just done this, Sorare Viking, as you'll probably know. Should I wait until teams are more settled? Would like someone who has 40 plus games, so either Euro or international. Let's have a peek at what is on the market at the moment, because also I've done my business. Manager sales, super rare, goalkeeper, and we'll have a glance and then we'll filter challenger and champion independently, okay? But I think now there might be some options. If you've got a good budget. Always happens at night time. Oh, I've got the heating on, that's why. 2 seconds. I always get too comfy with the heating on. Excuse me. So let's see. We've got about an ETH. A lot of super rare goalkeepers, by the way. See, in the research I've been doing for them, See, when you look at the ones that have recently transferred privately, the going rate is about 0.7 for like non premium, not a household name starting super rare goalkeeper. So with all these listings, if I was you, that's what I'd be thinking is who could I actually get an accepted offer at 0.7-ish for, is who I would be thinking. The boy Yanez might be a shout. Please investigate everything we are about to talk about in further detail. But Yanez is just transferred, it appears, to Sporting Gijon. So I don't know. I don't think he'll get 40 games out of Segunda Division. But he's just transferred. He's not probably on Saudi Arabia's radar. But they do have other goalkeepers there, so it's not. It's not a definite. So I say, please investigate that one further. Yanez. Just when I seen him on the market there just now, I thought he's worth a mention because moves that are done are worth. Kepa, by the way, I reckon you'd get that for an ETH. No bother. I would start at 0.7, but I reckon you'll get that for an ETH. Mendy's just away to Saudi Arabia. He's walking into that team, isn't he? Maybe he's not. Please tell me if I'm wrong, but I think Kepa seems like bang on. Especially compared to Nubel at 1.9. Per Lopez, maybe a bit sketchier. I wouldn't openly recommend him, actually. I want to try and eat those words back up. You might be able to get Oblak into that price, by the way, if you shopped around a few people. And let me have another wee glance around. Anyone else you would get an ETH for? Xander Clark's picked up an injury, but is still expected to start the season. It sounds... Yeah, man. On a first pass, I think Kepa is worth a shot. I'm a big Kevin Trapp guy. I really am. I'm not sure if you would get him at 0.7. At an ETH, you'd probably get the guys talking to you. I think I've been watching Trapp for a while. They've really been trying to sell him for a while, and they've not sold him, so maybe they would accept some ETH in that sense. I'm trying to think if there's anything else I've spotted in the market I could tell you a little bit about. I think that's probably the long and short of it. Does anyone else jump out? This guy's Peacock Farrell is like destined to transfer. This guy's had him listed up for cheaper, so check expired listings. You'll see what he's had him listed for before. That's a punt. He needs a transfer, but it's very much expected. So again, look into that further. Castiles, that's a bit expensive, man. I don't know if people are being realistic with that. But Castiles should be a 0.7 keeper to 1 ETH. Sommer, his future's unknown. I'm not going to go for all 17 pages. This is the last one I'll glance at. I think we've seen a lot of good meat on the bones there for the AMA. I like Bauman for reliability, but he's getting older. And Hoffenheim are not in Europe. And Bauman could be a random like Saudi guy next season. Like that's the kind of guy they will get to signing. As like a solid keeper. Vanya, if you could get him for any, if you've won the lottery for my money. So I think that's where I'm at, buddy, with that. Not caught you live for ages. Sorare Fanatic, fist bump, my man. Glad you have. Thanks for catching us, my man. I enjoy the videos lately. Keep it up. Thanks very much, mate. Really appreciate that fist bump. Philly had a huge game last night against Nashville, so could rotate a bit. Oh, lovely. By the way, yeah, we might see what we can do with this contingent of cards I've got then. Oh, the live chat's just moved away from me. Good luck this game week. Thanks, Bradford Jack. They haven't accounted for Sands. Last I checked that one. Yeah, Jodeci, I think you're right there. Good day, Quinny, Kane Carnage. Oh, Jesus, you're up early today. Will the new season cards be more of the same as the current seasons? Sevilla, is that in terms of the style? I think we're going to get a real style shake-up because on the market now, the new South American cards that are out. Where's Champion America? The new Champion America cards that have came out, like the MLS license launch, or relaunch, as it were. They're not too different, I think, to the season before's, were they? We didn't have big heads the season before, I'm pretty sure. But then these ones, again, this gives me like K-League vibes. K-League and J-League have came out, and they're just ever so slightly personalized or made distinctive in their own little way. So I actually want to check that out. Can we find let's just look at this guy. What was last season? I'm sure last season was just like very similar, and this season is just the kind of extra MLS-y detail, isn't it? Yeah, exactly. So it's not moved on much in the last like 2 seasons, but I think they've kind of held back the non-EU design changes, because normally it's Korea, etc., and then into South America, North America, that roll out the new designs. But they said in a roadmap update not that long ago that they would do design changes around the European calendar now. So I think that's why there's not been much of a style evolution in this new series of cards, because they're probably holding that back for the new season of the Prem, the new season of Scotland and Germany, France, England, Spain, Italy, and everything else in between, you know. So yeah, how come I don't have an amateur? Oh, I think I caught that when I was catching up. So I keep hearing you mention Greg Taylor as a question mark for the new season, but why? He's been great. Now, Ken, it is just down to the unknown, right? Of Greg Taylor was made good under Ange in that inverted fullback, right? But he's, never stood out as a just generic left back, like when he was at Celtic before the Ange arrived. He was at Celtic for a season or two before Ange showed up. It was good for Kelly. He did get into the Scotland team at Kelly under Steve Clark before we signed him. He is young. It's very easy to forget that as well. I think mentally Celtic fans always think of him as being like 26 or something, 28. But he's not. So I do agree. I'm just being super cautious with it, because I can imagine, especially defensively, it might not be Rodgers' cup of tea. Bernabe might not be Rodgers' cup of tea. And I just think that might be a spot where it's just a question mark for me. I don't want to tell you that Taylor's on for this season, because I just have no idea. And I've got a super rare and a rare, and McBride's got a unique. So if anyone's going to be nervous about it or tell you the truth about it, it'll be us, Does he not work in Brendan's style? It's hard to say, because we don't really know what Brendan's going to do. There was a friendly, a behind closed door friendly yesterday. Check out the Celtics Are Here podcast that went out today with me and Josh, for a bit more of a breakdown of what went on. But the team there sounded a wee bit different to what we were expecting. Sorry to ignore my amateur question, no problem. Jerm, second place though, how far off first in the NYC collection? Oh yeah, so I'm second place on the NYC collection rankings because IAK is a one-of junkie, so he buys all the one-ofs. I've got all the jersey numbers, which is why all my guys are all worth big points once their 90 days are in. Some of them I'm first owner on as well, but not a lot of them. And I'm missing, so there's 2 jersey numbers that do exist that I don't have. One is Santi Rodriguez and one is Sean Johnson. But Sean Johnson is the number 1, of course. And IAK, for being a first owner, one-of on so much of that collection, he's got double the value on me, in essence. So let's see. All one-ofs, aren't they? 111. Does he have anyone that's not a 1, is what I want to see. Yeah, 1's on them all. One-of first owner, 70 points a hit, 100 points on the Sean John because it's a jersey. Mint as well, 1690 points. I'm never going to overtake that, even if I did finish out the last. If I got him to trade the Sean John, which he would never do, maybe that swinging points along with the Santi would make things a bit different. And I've got this, which is a piece, So yeah, I'm never going to become number 1, which is kind of sad, I guess, isn't it? That's what I think. AZ finally agreed for Tijani to move to AC Milan. Yeah! I've got a little video that will go out then. We featured that on the AC Milan video, but that's absolutely great to see. How far away do you think CCV is from starting again? No idea, but the starting centre-backs in the behind closed doors friendly was Welsh and Kobayashi. He's my guaranteed 70 every week. Kane Carnage, I'm with you all the way on that, buddy. Mini me, fist bump, long time, good to see you. Mikey Basson, Tadic wants to leave Ajax. Oh, here we go. He smells that Saudi money in the air, doesn't he? I struggle to think about selling a level 16 to 20 card. How do you deal with this? Gus, that's a great question, by the way, because it's a part of your club, isn't it? The guys that are high level. So I think it really does become, with all XP, I'm thinking about my high collection XP, I'm thinking about all these high level guys, it is the stardust on the card. It's the cherry on top of the cake. It's the differentiator. It is the X factor in your team. It's not what makes it, you know. So, like, these guys are long-standing guys in my club for the most part, but like Boyata, I wouldn't worry about selling as much, perhaps. So it's one of those ones, mate. I think you really need to. I've got a video. It's came out now on the channel. Where are you? Sorry, Gus. There's a video out on the channel called like, Sorare Philosophy Strategy, something like that. It's only a day or two old. I highly recommend you check that out. But basically, the premise to your Sorare philosophy, if you like, and I got this, I kind of do this myself anyway, right? But I get this from hearing people all the time changing strategy and philosophy and DMs and group chats and, you know, everything, everything, Discords, everything. Is like, you need a philosophy, first of all, and your strategy can change quite a lot, but it's your philosophy that should remain consistent. And your philosophy is like your fingerprint, is what IDs you, you know. And that's why that video, I tried to start it off kind of funny with the Polish goalkeeper thing, because it's like, it's your thing, you know. It's like, it's what makes your club you, you know. How are you approaching this? Do you have a big wallet? Do you not? What kind of football do you like and watch? Who do you support? What players do you like? Who's your cult heroes? Who's your icons? Whatever, go and watch the video for a full kind of, you know, and then it moves into buying and selling strategy as well as your strategy for SO5. So if you've got a philosophy across those four main bases, it's three bases, but the selling or the transfer strategy is buying and selling. So it's kind of like too many parts. If you've got that, that becomes like your North Star. That becomes like your compass. And although your strategy might change, like, oh, Sorare have changed the reward pool, or Sorare have added this, Sorare have taken away that, whatever, your philosophy is what remains consistent and allows you to make decisions quite easily. So if you're struggling to sell anything, high level cards, high collection bonus cards, sentimental cards, whatever, I think you should always just make sure you can, you know, like, you know yourself, you know your philosophy. And if it sticks in your philosophy, then don't sell it. And if it doesn't, then sell it, you know. And for philosophy, check the video, big man. But that's the way I kind of deal with these kind of headache decisions. Like, if I got a bad boy offering, I mentioned it in that video as well, but like, if I got offers for worts of like, yeah, 2.5 ETH is the minimum here, so anything over 2.5 ETH, I'll talk to you about that. Don't care, it's level 20. I do care it's level 20, I do care it's a reward, right? But it's only going to be mad money that's going to get me to part with it, because that's the way I feel about it. Whereas like Asaka, or maybe some of these other guys, maybe I would listen to an offer a wee bit easier than something that's got that extra level of utility and other bits and pieces on it. But it is a struggle, mate, because sometimes, like, I have sold those guys, and it is just when they become too expensive, when it's just like, wow, what an amount of money they're worth. How can I keep this when I could buy somebody who, for all intents and purposes, is the exact same at a fraction of the price? As soon as you say that to yourself, you're selling them. You really are. So that's where I'm at with it, Gus. Late, but here, Evan, good to see you. Fist bump. Saw a tweet saying Gerrard would be Liverpool manager in 4 years after buying all Liverpool players for 5x and funding big transfers. Jeremy, I seen that tweet as well. And wouldn't that be... That's the strategy, isn't it? Take their money, man. You know, if that's how you feel about it. Expecting many new features and changes to Sorare before the season starts. Feels like it's slowed down a bit recently. I don't think it has slowed down. I think everything on Sorare... Time is always in this constant state of flux of going super fast and then super slow. But I don't think I can see just general notification. Yeah, so there's one there, so we can click on this. We had the Zidane thing, which is like a bit of a highlight thing, a bit of a community. No, if I was going to see that page, it shows you all the news and everything that's went on. But you know, but I think there's lots of stuff coming out. It's just it's lots of little tiny things. Even still, mate, I'm expecting the cash wallet to come out imminently. I'm expecting some sort of announcement on what monthly leaderboards or what the next iteration of competition will be. You know, we've spoke about extended leaderboards before. I'm expecting us to know about that 1st of August, 31st of July. You know, I'm expecting us to, maybe even before then, you know, but that's by then. I'm expecting us to be in. That's us locked in for the season. We know where the chips are lying. We know the prize pools, etc., as we move into the final month of the transfer window and into the season proper, as it were. So I think it's going to keep going the way it is, and I think it will just be like breadcrumbs getting bigger down the trail as we go down through the month, you know. Living in Saudi, honestly, feeling like I have to go to the games now with all the talent. Declan, if you're in the country and you don't go to the games, like, I would say that's a crime, to be honest. Flecken, not a bad shout. Flecken's a great shout for the goalkeeper thing, I suppose, because he has transferred already. But with Raya being there and still being in the shop window, maybe he gets cup games and stuff, but it's still a mucky problem, a mucky situation. Backman at Watford is another one that was shouted in there. Oh, and I've just lost the chat again. Sorry, I'm trying to catch up before I start taking requests. What is going on at Brentford with these keepers? Yeah, it's crazy, isn't it? I mentioned that on the Road to Glory video. I don't know what to do about Raya with Flecken and Strakosha. Yeah, it's just you got to cross your fingers and hope that somebody takes him. Sporting Gijón lost their veteran Pichu and didn't sign the lowly goalkeeper, so Yanez should be safe. And that's a should from Jerm. Very good intel, but always worth double checking. But great intel, Jerm. Thanks very much, mate. Fist bump. The Sorare scouts and managers from around the world that are in the live chat, come to the streams here, are the best in the business. Raya might get loaned out. You could see that. The FOMO of Messi has literally just hit me. Kjærgaard, I can imagine, man, he's just going to rip MLS apart. Stuttgart, Bredelo and Muller for 1 ETH combined get the handcuff. That's a strategy. I would probably not recommend that. JBlaze23, thank you very much for the goat emoji. You're a man. You are the man. Any thoughts on Motherwell, asks Sean Connolly. Had a great end to last season, but sold Van Veen. I think Motherwell have shown over the last, 3 or 4 seasons that they do, or maybe even 10 years, by the way, they do, Motherwell are a really good team for having one really good player that scores, like Van Veen, over the years, generally. They do recruit well. They don't normally hold guys for longer than a season or so. So I think Motherwell would be very interesting to watch their business. And yeah, man, if you want to get behind Motherwell, the manager seems to be in a good rhythm. The club is never really and I know they've had dire times, right? But as far as some clubs in Scotland go, I don't think Motherwell have ever been in that dire straits. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm too detached from it. But yeah, Motherwell are a good follow. So in general, in thoughts, I would just watch their business. And that's just starting to work as well, Kane, at that time. Jesus. Sevilla, price-wise. Right, so Sevilla, let's see what your question is. With the new season cards. Oh, okay, cool. So price-wise now. The best thing to do is probably go into the secondary market when the new season cards come out. Because first owner status on collection bonus, unlocking 10 buys to get your referral thing, and new season cards looking nicer. Maybe some other players are only available this season in certain collections, etc, etc, etc. New season cards will be harder to get, maybe not more expensive, but I think on the secondary market, you will get direct offers accepted below floor price for out of season cards. So if you're after the cheapest possible thing, I would be buying out of season when new season happens. If you can't get a deal you find very appealing right now-ish. Sevilla, great question. Sorry I'm late, Killian. No need to apologise. We are getting layers. We now have annual card detail style template alongside league recognition background. Yeah, next layer. Taylor is fire. Yeah, I love Taylor. I'm worried Celtic trying to sign so many players, yet we have a team with great cohesion and building. Where are the new signings going to play unless Abada changes his mind again? Johnny TH, I'm kind of with you on that one as well. The squad is great. And when I was on the Celtic, so for Celtic Sorare content, me and McBride do a stream every Tuesday on the Celts Are Here YouTube channel. It's all one word, Celts Are Here, just the way it sounds. Green and white logo. And would you cry it? We were talking about this exact thing, and the live chat came back to me and basically said to the tune of, well, you buy players who are better supposedly than who's here at the moment. So if we buy somebody like Taylor, somebody better than Taylor, then if we go and spend 8 million quid on a left back, which I'm not saying we're going to, but if we did, then it's kind of hard to see him not playing if that's the way it's went. But the squad is very good, great cohesion building, very talented. We are missing some stardust without Jota. Brendan Rodgers earlier today said that there's nothing in the works in terms of contract extensions, and there has been rumours that Hatate and Carter Vickers were due extensions this week. So if that's not the case and Rio doesn't extend, Rio's also a bit of an exit worry. And if Rio is an exit worry, then it's further stardust out the team. So I think we'll be looking to replace what we lose in that sense, like cohesiveness, engine, everything about industry, everything about this team is fantastic. It's a bedrock, but without Jota and potentially without Rio, you miss a lot of X Factor stardust, and we need that. So that's what's missing. So it's about who then is available that offers that, I would say, is who we will go for. Oh wow, so he has the perfect collection. Well done to him. Yeah, he does. The perfect collection. One of first owners on them all. And like you say, Rogers not preferring Taylor and Burnaby. And I don't know if he will or not, but I am just thinking that is a possibility, because I think it is a possibility. Sorare-wise, I have to really think about it could happen, and it will happen, and how would I respond? Do I have cover? How bad does it hurt me? Just watched the Daily interview with Neville. I honestly hope he comes back to the Prem with a bang. He lit it up when he was younger, and he's only 27 with a move to Chelsea under Poch, if it does pop. Yeah, so I watched most of it. I've not finished it. It was nice to hear his side of things, and it's good to, understand where he's coming from. Obviously, proper traumatic stuff that he's went through. But honestly, I don't know, man. Everyone wants to say, how brave he is and all the rest of it. I think it's other people just want to get in on his good story and just want to attach themselves to it, like people reacting to it, if you know what I mean. Hugely brave thing he's done, and I hope this is a turning point for his career. Like, you really do believe him. See when he says, I feel really good now, and he says stuff like, I'm really happy to do this interview, but I do wish it could have been a little bit later. Like, I see a wee bit in him, and I think, let's see him score some goals and score some bangers or whatever. But I think, the general reaction to him is, it feels fake, it feels like it's a lot of people who were slating him and trashing him and questioning him all the time are now so quick to change their tune now that they see what he's been going through. And people are talking about, see footballers as human beings, and it's like, why weren't you in the first, it's like anything. People want to talk about Saudi Arabia and think about the human part of it. Everyone should be doing this at the whole, so anyway, I just think there's some fakery going on with people surrounding it, if that makes sense. I just don't agree with, but I did enjoy listening to it. It was nice to hear his side of things. You did just imagine he was maybe being a bit of a wreckhead and a bit of a brat, a bit of a spoiled, I've made all this money now and I'm from a scheme, so I'm just going to fuck football, and I've got my money now, who gives a shit? And if he'd retired at 24, that's what everyone would have definitely thought, But it's good to hear that, he's overcame, he's got help, and he's on the right path, man, because he was wildly talented, And me, guys, I'm all about good footballers. I'm all about box-to-box midfielders. So yeah, it's good to hear that, I suppose. Giant Flaming Hot What's It's fist bump, good to see you. Liam King, good to see you. Rumours that NYC are shopping for a senior LCB. Would love to see them bring Callens home. I would love to see that too. I've got massive XP on him. I don't see it happening. I think he wants to try Europe, and I think he'll be well placed in that Girona squad next year, because the Girona back line alongside Santi Bueno, everyone else who played was in their late 30s. So I think Santi Bueno and Callens from the beginning of the season could be a really strong partnership there. The number one CB behind closed door friendly sounds like Burnaby. Assessing the depth, no way Starfelt isn't. Yeah, I agree with what you're saying there, Kane Carnage. I got a number one. Yanni is rare. I'm thinking of selling. What do you put a number one value on? Again, I've been asked this before. So how much do I value number ones and stuff like that over the market? I don't know, man. I think so. I bought Benkovic. I bought Benkovic one of. He was a $5 over the floor. So I think guys like this, a $5, a tenner, 20 quid at a push for rubbish guys, you're just going to get a 1% kick on. You're not collection bait, as it were, like your Yanez. So that's kind of how I feel about it, because all you're getting is a 1% walk-on fee. Like this, I think I paid maybe 10 or 20 quid over the floor. Maybe even right around 73 quid. So yeah, I paid around, probably his floor was probably 63, 67 pound. And then yeah, I've paid the 73 for him. So I've paid a little bit above floor there. What's that, about a $5? So again, for somebody like Yanez, a kind of nominal guy, it's really an eye of the beholder. I think if you get 20 quid out of somebody, you're doing well. But check the buyer's collection. I shouldn't say that, should I? What do you think will take over if Joe Hart retires? And I have no idea, mate. No idea who takes over from Joe. We've just sold, obviously, Hazard to Plymouth Argyle, so he's went Red X on us. And, or has he? Yeah, he has. Plymouth are in the Championship, or not Championship, League One, aren't they? Hazard, Plymouth Argyle. Plymouth are in League One, aren't they? Yeah, League One. They didn't get promoted, did they? Let's just go double check. Do we have fixtures out? Championship. Sneaky. He had an auction earlier today. Went for half an ETH. Sneaky, by the way. Sneaky, by the way. Sneaky, by the way. So he's just out. I don't think it'll be Bane or Segrist. I think we'll probably get somebody that replaces him. Anyone holding a Tom Hay? He recently said he feels like now is a good time to step on. Nice. So it'll be interesting to see where he goes. Could be a Feyenoord. They've just lost Szymanski, of course, and Kokchu. You know, be a good move for him. Handanovic is gone, and Inter and Man U are speaking over a transfer of Onana. Do you think Inter buy another keeper? I think Inter are going to get Sommer and Trubin, from the sounds of things. What you mean, Kane? I got a rare Hay. Oh, agreed, Quinny. Marius. I'm glad we agree. I don't know what we agree on, Marius, but thank you. Totally agree. Thought it felt like bandwagon stuff. Oh, okay. Is it the Dele Alli stuff? Some of the reactions from people who wouldn't have thought twice about him before. Yeah, totally. Great he shared his story and hope he does well, but wouldn't bet on it. Yeah, that's it. I think it's one of those ones where I heard the guy, what's the ginger guy who's doing TalkSport now? Rory, what's his name? He was like coming out the other day and saying he's not a Premier League footballer. He's not a Premier League footballer. No. And I nodded and agreed with that when he said that. I thought, yeah, you're probably right. You know, like he's probably like, because that is the cutting edge level of the game, and you know it's going to be a grueling climb up the hill. He's obviously got the raw ability to get back there, but I wouldn't be surprised if, like, because he does have an injury at the moment, I wouldn't be surprised if he gets back to fitness, trains with Everton, maybe gets some cup minutes and some appearances, and then gets on loan in January to maybe the Championship or something like that. And that's it. You know, he has a rehab of a season. I'm not sure we'll see much fireworks. Depends on his bounce back, of course, but that's probably me being conservative. Always like Dele Alli, and I'm the same as you. Love box to box. I think he has a Sorare card. No, he does have a Sorare card. We've definitely looked at it before because it's been cheap as. And it's been one of those ones where it's like, hey, if you believe the guys if he could go to the Championship or go to America or something, he's cheap as. The Super Rare is not as cheap anymore. Rare's cheap enough if you fancy the punt. You'd maybe get a bit cheaper on direct offer. Is Liam Scales saying at Celtic? I think Celtic want to sell him. I don't think Celtic are interested in loaning him to Hibs and Aberdeen and, you know, giving them a nice cushy deal. I think they want to sell him because he did well enough this season to be sold for Celtic to make profit on him. Declan wanted to step up from limited to rare. Nice, Declan. But I was wondering what sort of investment I would need to make. How much do you think I would need to spend roughly to be competitive in any rare mode? I think to be competitive, we did this kind of recently, actually, with... I'm going to change screen and I'll check my... I think I was looking at rares for like 50 quid. I think it was... I think we were looking at like cap 220 to get started because we can get limited keepers. We can play a limited goalkeeper in that division. What the video was? It was a wee while ago. If I started Sorare today, it might have been that one, by the way. That came out on the 26th of June. If I started Sorare today. Feel free to check that in a bit more detail, but I'll answer this now, of course. We'll go through it together. But I think, in general, like, the rare keepers, you're going to need... To get a rare goalkeeper that will play, you're going to need about 0.2 Ethereum, as we just seen there. With the Connor Hazard, you could go pick him up there now for 0.2. And there's some other guys around that price, 0.25, 0.22 of an Ethereum, depending on what your local currency is. Of a rare keeper that will play. So I think they're going to need that as a minimum. And then depending on where we're going, maybe getting somebody else that's about 0.1 is advisable. So yeah, you're going to need to spend, let's say, about 350 to 400 quid on a rare keeper. And then I think for defense, you could probably buy a good defense for 3 cards, probably around, I would say about 150 quid if you really went shopping hard, you know, in Challenger Europe especially. So you could probably focus your efforts on Challenger Europe, which is a fun region to compete in, fun cards to be won, as well as decent prospects to play in All-Star and in some other divisions. In midfield, you're going to need to spend a good few quid to get some talent. You're going to need, I would say, 2 or 3 bodies again. So the price of your goalkeeper would probably buy you a midfield contingent again. Yeah. And then, so the defense will be the cheapest part. And then striker, you're probably only going to get 1 or 2 in your initial squad. And again, you're probably looking to spend combined about 400 quid. So I think for a rare squad, you're still talking about the thick end of 2 grand probably on pound notes. In Ethereum terms, maybe 1 ETH. If you had an ETH, it's probably less. Actually, it's like 1,500 at the moment, I think, isn't it? I think if you had an ETH, you could build a team easy enough, you know. I've actually been making a lot of content with these kind of situations in mind for different budgets and different levels and stuff. But I think in general, Declan, that's how I would spitball it with you. You know, about 0.2, 0.25 for a goalkeeper and a midfield contingent. So that's about half an ETH. Your defense, you can probably build for about 0.15 Ethereum. Let's even say 0.2. Let's be generous. So 0.7. So then strikers, yeah, let's get to an ETH, I think, is a budget for a rare base squad with getting a rare goalkeeper. Feyenoord are looking at Zachariah. I heard that as well. You seen my message about Tom Hay? That's what Flynn was referring to. Yeah, I think I got that. Sorry, I'm just going to read out as I'm catching up. Top 3 players out with the old firm must have for an SPL team. Now, I think the number 1 SPFL card to have this season could be this guy. He's only got 1 card. No, he's got a few cards. He's only really got 1 super, 1 rare, 41 yellows. Jamie McGrath was quality at Dundee United. He's rumoured to be going to Hearts. Last season had Snodgrass at Hearts. He's unattached now. But, like, it's very reasonable to assume that McGrath can do big 80 pluses in that Hearts team if he was fit and available every week. So good luck getting a card. But I think he would be number 1 for me. The guy with 1 card would be my number 1 pick. He's got a 1% bonus for being the card as well. I don't know what kind of price you would get him off this guy. He does control the market. He didn't pay that much for it. I went for this auction, but 50 quid was my limit, I think. Yeah, it was. 52 quid was my limit. I was like, I'm not paying any more than that. I thought he would have got more auctions, but he didn't. So alas, that would be my number 1. Number 2 has to be Clarkson. 1,000%. Like, 1,000%. He's got an under 23 premium on him, and he's not cheap, but he is a killer. One thing I did notice, by the way, this is outside of Old Firm, I know, but I'm going to, this is included Old Firm, I know, but I'm not going to get this guy, but that rare, there was one listed for 0.09. That feels a bit cheap to me. This guy is reckoned, for the way people rate this guy, bronze again on the super, you can maybe get that down. So that's a side one. In the SPFL, outside of the Old Firm, Snodgrass, no, not Snodgrass, who? Levitt. Levitt has just went to Hibs. And I think he will be a must-play next year for SPFL. I think he'll be a boss at Hibs. I think that's finally a good team for him. And he should really unlock himself. So I'd say Clarkson, McGrath, and Levitt. And if I was to give you another one, since McGrath's only got 1 card, I would go for Shankland. Yeah, Shankland, solid golden boot contender. Why buy a keeper when the keeper you had got you promoted? Interesting thoughts, Johnny. Interesting thoughts. What do you guys think about Nico Mantle at Salzburg as a good buy for under 23 next season? Cohen maybe going to Monaco. That could be a good shout. Salzburg are a great team to have an under 23 goalkeeper at. They did want to keep Nico Mantle hot by putting him out on loan to Aalborg for like 2 months or 3 months. So I think that's a good move. I think that could be in the offing. They just sold the Czech Republic youth kid to someone else in that division as well. Is a player that's 23 years old already still under 23 for next season? Nick Wheelers, that's a great question. So a player on Sorare is under 23 eligible if they are aged 23 or younger as of the 1st of July, which is gone now. So everyone on Sorare at the moment that has the under 23 symbol is fine. You're good for next season. You're locked in. We're just past the purge date. You know, so all the guys have aged out now that are not meant to. Anyone got 0.2 ETH? Evening, Quinny. Alex Coombs, fist bump. Nick, depends upon the birthday. Oh, yeah, you're getting to that as well. Cap 240 is possible with way less. It maybe is. I suppose you could, yeah. I'm thinking about buying proper midfielders to try and win cards, I guess. With that budget. You would still need the goalkeeper. But yeah, I suppose you could probably give the midfield cohort a big haircut on budget and really shop bargain basement in Division 2 divisions and stuff. I agree there. Hi, Quinny. Fist bump, Luke. Good to see you. Do you know much about Lee Tae Hui? Nope. I don't know anything about him. Inchin because he was out for a bit. No, I'm sorry, mate. I cannot help you. Have to say Shankland. Yeah. Leighton. Yep. He was on sets against Bournemouth pre-season. Ooh. I mean, doesn't mean a lot. No, it doesn't. But it's a sign of things to come, I think. Definitely a sign of things to come. Now, guys, we're at the comfy spot. We've been streaming now for an hour and 15. I'm at the comfy spot. We've went through a bunch of questions and stuff. I am tempted to rebuild some teams. So let's have a peek. We think Sean John's going to come in. Well, I'd delete these teams and try and rebuild them and just see how they would come out now that I feel a bit more confident with how everything is going to be lined up for the game week. And then I can just go to the deadline. There'll be no deadline stream tomorrow, by the way, guys. We've did the white team. We don't need to worry about that. We're going to take a little hiatus, which is why we've got a little nighttime stream for us, which is cool. Okay, so what division do I want to prioritise is the first question, right? So I've got 2 teams. I've got okay selections. I think I've got one winning team. Where do I want to win this week? That 1,800 competitors for 278 cards. It's a very tempting headcount ratio for Sorare managers. The money is still getting paid out for the top 100 is fun. It's almost like a second threshold if you bag it. 220. It's a lower quality. Reward 195 cards up here and 270, by the way. Could we build a boss 270 team? Chicago's a good game for him. Amundsen on the 12%. Wait, Portland could be good. Gold is killing it at the moment. Magno's quite cap friendly. Oh, Everaldo, what's he all about? O'Toole's quite cap friendly. Let's try Johnny Russell just because he's the big man. And then we've got 58 points left. Oh, man, yeah. We could put the best team into 270. Lodero. Boom. Could do something like that for sure. Huge XP. We could really attack 270. What is the payout on 270? Star for 1 place. Okay. A couple of tier 1s and such, and a couple of super rares getting doubled up because there's no money available. Yeah, there's 3 stars here. Now I'm definitely taking All-Star again as my priority division. So, Barraza. Oh, I actually quite like Barraza. If we reckon Fillier had a tough game midweek, they maybe be a bit weaker. Big Chenot feels like the man. Amundsen isn't that bad either, but I think Chenot's got the peaks, isn't he? Gray, but feels like he could be a little mini Chenot. At 42 points, he feels much more cap capable. Thiago's on his way back. Nice. Good to see Thiago Martins on his way back. And Sviatchenko's kind of steady and improving. So yeah, I think it does kind of pick itself. It is going to be Chenot. In midfield, it feels like it'll be Gold again, but I think the final choice will be the hard part of this. So we've got Gold. And then, okay, do we think Russell or Magno? for the best team. JFR, Johnny Falcon Russell, was robbed of a decisive back here, so he should be on a 75 or something. I think he is the man to go for. Castellanos isn't going to play. Magno is a pain in the fucking arse, man, this season, honestly. Can't wait for him to hit form, honestly. It's going to be so sweet when he does, and I'm going to be so happy when he does. It's the final spot, guys. So, well, I'll ask you guys this. Let's do a little poll. Let's have some fun. Start a poll, right? Final spot. How many options do we get? I think it's 4, isn't it? Final option. Santi. Who else do we have? Parks. Lodero. I think Lodero's going to win this. Lodero. And who else do we have? Magno, I guess. We could put Magno as an option. That's some very good options there. I think Parks is solid to stay. That's community. So there's a little poll there, guys. You just can let me know what you think. I would probably go Santi, because I think he's got the set piece capability. And it does look like that team should be a bit stronger. Away to Philly. I wonder if that's a good game. Away, and then let's look for Philly. Away to Philly. Away to Philly. Feels like we play away to Philly all the time. Can't see it that easily. Maybe I'll give up on this. Feels like the NYC play Philly all the bloody time. There we go. There's a way to Philly there. 41. Interesting. Parks, box to box. Gets a lot of AA. Can get decisives. He's solid as well. If you're not relying on him. Saka, we didn't put him in there, but Saka's back, kind of. You know, so that's fun. And then Lodero, who is Nico Lodero. Pretty solid. These averages look pretty mince, but he is a bit more of a power player traditionally, much more 80 capable than what that graph suggests, certainly. So Seattle at home is a good game. And then Magno, it's just, if we fancy it. If we fancy it. He's been rubbish recently. You can let me know. The vote seems to be running away with Lodero. Let's catch up with the chat, guys. Mark O'Hara is a great shout as well, by the way, from the Scottish Premier League. Nani's moved to Turkey. Wow, Nani is bucking the trend. Marius, fist bump. Worried about my rare hay now with Kane. I don't think he'll be maybe you want him to move. I think he moves to a bigger thing in Holland, or maybe goes to a big team in Belgium or Portugal. I think that's the kind of thing he's after, mate. I don't think he's going to move to West Ham and sit on the bench. I wouldn't worry about it, Mick. Thursday night, what is this madness? Go score, but it's a flashback. Dallas have been atrocious defensively in midfield. Is no match to Seattle. Yeah, okay, fair enough. Doing a poll, so if one, you can blame us instead. No, I just thought it'd be fun. Dallas will defend 80% of the game. If Saka starts, that matchup is very nice. Ooh. Let's see. Now, they done me dirty last time. He got a flat out DNP last time. And they had him at 70% to start. Subon Blue Wings are bottom. That would be a great game. Maybe we want to use him somewhere else, perhaps. Do you think Noah Lang scores improve at PSV? He's got an injury, mate. First touch of the ball in training, he get carried off. He could not walk off the training pitch. But once he recovers from that, sure, I think they'll get much better. I think it's because of Sounders' recent results. Yeah, probably. The goals conceded go against them and such, don't they? What do you reckon will be the Chelsea CBs this season? Fofana and Badiashile? Colwell getting in? I think Colwell, if he stays, has to play. But Fofana and Badiashile, I think, will be very much Pochettino's type. Pochettino, by the way, did try free at the back quite a lot with Tottenham, you know, with Vertonghen, Alderweireld, and Dyer, or Davis and Sanchez, and one or two others. So I could see him trying to go free at the back at Chelsea. And maybe he plays Colwell, Fofana, Badiashile. Maybe in some games. Doesn't need to be every game, but I can see it. He came back on after being carried off. Oh, did he? Did they? Good to hear. Right, the poll's been going for 3 minutes. We'll give it 2 more minutes. So if you're watching this live, you can jump in and vote on the poll. And we'll get this done. I think we can see who the winner is going to be, but we'll finish this poll in 2 minutes. The writing's on the wall. It won't go away. It's a no man. I think it's going to be Nico. Oh, the vote got a bit tighter just now. Oh, vote got a bit tighter. Oh, it's at 50-50 now. I don't know whose the votes are, but we're up to 28 votes, guys. We'll only run it for one more minute. It's at 50-50. All I know is Ladero's got one of the 50s. Feels like no one is going to be voting then, I think, for Magno and Parks. I'm assuming it's Santi. Ladero's at 48%. Or maybe the vote's just getting split between some other candidates. 1 minute to go. Come on, guys. Any more votes? Any more? Get them in, get them in, get them in. Get them in. It's a no man. Let's see it. Are we almost at 5 minutes? Poll started. Poll started 4 minutes ago. We're going to finish it. We're going to finish it. Ooh. Now. 5 minute poll finished. Let's see the results. Ladero 48%. Santi must have just got some late votes at the end there. But no, Ladero did scoop the vote. And I'm going to captain Gold. I'm not even asking you that. Gold's the man. So I think we're going to win All-Star with that. I think we're going to get in top 100. Huge XP on the defence and goalkeeper pairing. Boss midfield and forward options. Apex Predators, I call them. Now, the other team. Do we go after 240? 1 star in here as well. Same as what's in 270, but we know 270 gets better. Could it win 270? There's less cards there as well. Much less cards. But much... interesting. Let's have a look at 270. Let's see how good we can build it. Sorry, our banger. Fist bump. Good to see you, mate. So we can get Big Tanny in. Oh, I'll get... not Tanny. Sean John. We can get Big Sean John in. We get Tavon, who I think is probably the best pick here anyway. He's quite cheap on cap. We've still got Santi. We've still got Magno. And then we've got Parks. Big XP on all these guys. And we still have points to spare. What do you think of that? Could that win cap 270? I think it might, by the way. Numero 10. Numero 10. Love it, mate. Is having over 600 limiteds OCD on Sorare stupid or something? Like, I don't know, but I'm doing it, lol. But now limited are now more affordable. It's a nightmare to sell, but budgeted players are now affordable. It's a great amount of limiteds you've got, mate. I'm struggling for rares, but now I have a crazy amount of limiteds, and I don't want to buy and sell and use, really. I think you need to do mass trading to Pavel, mate. If that's the way you're feeling, trying to get into rares with that amount of limiteds, feels like the obvious move. Just bulk take guys and just throw them at them, you know? That's what I would definitely try for, mate. I think that's the way to go. If that's what you're trying. So yeah, interesting. That 270 team, I actually think it fits. I think it fits into 240, which I think makes it the play. But we're then taking away the XP. I don't know if the XP would make the difference. Yeah, but this fits into 240. I think that can answer our question, doesn't it? Because it's the raw score that's going to, like I say, the XP is just cherry on top of the cake stuff. And in 220, we've got the limited Baraza. Now, what would you do? Would you play limited freeze here, actually? Or limited Baraza? Let me know just in the chat. Shout it out. As a handcuff, would you do the freeze? So then, oh, if freeze plays and Baraza doesn't, you've then got, oh, freeze has got a wee team on the go. Or do we play Baraza to activate in our team with rare cards with a limited keeper? Let me know what you think. I wonder if Maxi or oh, Acevedo. Acevedo. Let's go and check. Racing Club. Nope. 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 Not expected. Let's see. Did he play the last game? He wasn't expected to feature at all in the last game. Yeah, he's been DNP and he must be injured. Acevedo's fine, isn't he? Let's just double check. Yeah, bad score in the last game. But let's see. Maybe Everaldo's back in the team. That would help me too. Nope. Acevedo's nailed. Love it. Who was the other options? But I think I may add another option. And he's got bad boy XP on him as well, actually. So he does Ledesma, Morales, Alfie. Morales, that is. That team could do well. I'm kind of tempted now to maybe go for glory. Do a monkey, as it were. And stack this team to the hilt. Where is Acevedo? Is he as powerful as I think he is? 16%. Because he could get a score just like Parks. Basically, he is Parks, and I know that last game wasn't that great, but he's 5% more powerful. I don't know. Parks is away. Philly. He's even cheaper as well. Huge XP. Huge multiples. Cheers. I've done from Football Manager to Sorare. Yeah, amazing. I think if it fits 240, you've got to go 240. Yeah, do you think so? Yeah, I suppose. If it's 240, it just feels like we're cheating, doesn't it? At the highest order. 42 Gray, Santi, Magno, and then 54 points. Yeah, I think we go Parks just because we know he's safe. And we'll use the Acevedo on the 220. I think that's the way to go. It just feels a bit like we're missing out on some XP we've got there, you know. Sviatchenko. So what do you think? Sviatchenko away to the Rapids. Amundsen away to Portland. Let's check them out. What's the probabilities like? Houston. Have we got stats for this? I don't see stats. We normally get XP stats on this. Gutted. Okay. Sviatchenko's the boy. I'm going to take him. Osaka, if he starts, it's a great fixture, you're telling me, so let's take Osaka. We know that O'Toole's going to start, so let's take him. And then we've got Acevedo. O'Toole's going to be playing left back for New York, just in case you don't know. Awesome, and we'll lock that in. Now, I'm kind of tempted still to throw something at this with Tanny, in case Tanny does play. I don't think he is going to play. But you have to always cover Tanny in a team, because you never know. It's going to happen one day, and you want that one day to make sure he's in a team. So Tanny, Amundsen's still good. I think Hack is still good to run a team, by the way. And it's up front. Yeah, we're looking at Hebert to come off the bench against Dallas, which you're telling me is a horrible fixture. So let's take Hebert. And then we'll probably go Ledesma, wouldn't we? Yeah. So we throwaway team. And I'd probably captain Hack Attack. And that's a bit of a throwaway team. I'm not holding my breath on that. I'm going to instantly hide that one as soon as the game week opens. I think that's where I'm at. Some nice wee teams. I think I'll win a card for sure, and I should get Ife guaranteed. So maybe this is a big weekend for FC Barcelona, and maybe we go and scoop double prizes. I wonder what these guys' values are like. 50, 55, 63. I wonder if would we get them in a 270? No, the prize pool's better than All-Star. I still come back to that, don't I? Sevilla. Evening, Ian McMillan. Guys, I'm not going to be hanging about for too much longer. We've been on for 90 minutes or so, which I think is a great time for an AMA. We've done some AMA stuff. We've just sat and shot the breeze as well. But Dallas will be horrible. I'm happy to... Normally when I'm sitting doing this stuff with the members, I normally finish the stream by sitting chilling and having a little cigarette with these. So I think I'll do that. So if you've got any requests or anything, get them in. Last orders. Oh, yeah. I've had great fun, guys. I'm actually quite looking forward to my weekend now as a result, you know, so that was good. And I quite enjoyed a lot of the beginner Q&A stuff that we got through as well. Some nice just general questions. I'm actually probably going to timestamp this and snip some pieces out of this because they were nice. Good fun. I was tempted to do a card giveaway, but I thought, oh, didn't really plan this too well, so we'll save it for next time. And I thought, well, just anyone who wants to show up will show up, and we'll do whatever happens. I thought about getting a guest on as well. I didn't prepare well enough for it, to be quite honest. But next time we do this, we'll try and get a wee guest on, maybe a wee boxing partner, a wee sparring partner, as she calls it. And we'll do that. But you can see my kind of maybe a wee view into what I'm hoping for next season, you know, in terms of lineup potential and just who I want to have XP and stuff like that, you know. I'm hopeful, man. I'm hopeful for this season. It should be a good one. Aye. Deadline streams return with the Euro season. Yeah, that's the plan, mate. And I said to Harry, the only thing I do on a Friday at the moment is the deadline stream. And if I don't have the deadline stream, it's a very easy day for me to take off. I've got 2 kids and a wife and friends that text me. I don't know if you're listening, Wallace, but they text me saying, you know, just you can imagine the shit my mates give me, you know, making time for them and stuff like that, you know. So yeah, I've got to try and get a few Fridays off. So I didn't take proper holidays this year because I want the channel to grow, guys. I want to be successful at this. I'm trying to have a life of just watching football and you know, doing all this fun stuff, living in the new world as a Sorare player, as a football fan, playing this game with you guys, you know. The Celtic cards are beautiful, thanks Ian. I'm glad you think so, mate. You get them all XP'd up. And you get them all. This is a fun team as well. Wee bit Celtic-y with the Hendry, McGinn and Edward. But they've done away with Hall of Fame as well, by the way, which I'm not too happy about. I liked Hall of Fame. I liked the squads page. It's all gone. Not a fan. What you can do now, but is it's lists. And again, I don't know if this is going to be revamped, but it doesn't work. So see when I try and click on CFG alumni, which is the only fucking list I actually want to look at, I can click on every other one and it will filter the list. Trophy cabinets, these are all my card rewards that I've kept. So that's a good filter to have, and it's quite easy to add to. But I don't really, I miss squads. I miss that tab. It was probably called something crap. Squads is probably a crap name for it. They're probably going to reimagine it slightly better. Collections are kind of cool, right? But I miss squads, and I miss Hall of Fame. I wonder what happens now when I look at managers. What do I see? Nothing. You don't see their Hall of Fame anymore. Yeah, that's rubbish. That was much nicer when you seen their Hall of Fame. And yeah, got a wee bit of Eve to pick up this midweek. Buzzing about that. Few fun Fridays in the cards then. Yeah, I hope so, man. I'm so glad don't have to waste all Friday panicking over late changes. Yeah, exactly. Done before 11s. That's it. 11sies. Love it, Mikey boy. Yeah, it's good, man, having the day locked in and you can just move into the weekend as early as like 11 o'clock Friday. That's the way it used to feel, eh? So I'm looking forward to those old weekend vibes. In that sense. Bring back Hall of Fame, Charlie Dunbar. You can say that again, my man. Hashtag. Oh, that's nice. TJ Doc is telling us we can use lists to do lineup building. Sounds fun. Filter. Oh, so we can. The CFG alumni come up now. Yeah, it's not coming up now. Yeah, that list just isn't working. They just don't want me to recognise my CFG guys that aren't at City. Gutted. Oh yeah, gutted. Well, guys, wish me luck. Wish me luck. By the time we wake up tomorrow, might be a new card in here. Wish me luck. Wish me luck. Quite happy with my gallery, man. Buzzing, man. Buzzing. Quite happy. Quite happy I'll get to use this Ralston maybe at the beginning of the season. It's a bit of a fucking hope Ayer, by the way. So close to getting Flecken as a super rare keeper because I was just thinking, imagine Ayer does play this season. Ayer can do anything, man. Can't wait for him to leave Brentford and go to fucking Ajax or something like that, by the way. That'll be fucking party season. The sweat from 2:30 till 3 o'clock is too much. I second guess myself 10 times over, Charlie Dunbar. Yeah, I'm with you there. I think we all do. That's why I like the streams as well, because sometimes we get some intel and it's very valuable. I've saved myself a few times on the streams. Like, I've really enjoyed it in that sense as well. It's been good. Hope you've all enjoyed yourself tonight, guys, with me. I've had a great time. And I'll see you next Thursday. We'll do another one of these. If you've watched this after we've been live, fist bump to you. You're a hero. stay out of trouble, and I'll catch you on the next one. Take care. Bye-bye. The writing's on the walls.